All right, so man, welcome back to 123 CABO, man. This edition we're doing the Dallas Cowboys, winners of the NFC East, 12-5 record. Mr. Boy Zeke, you know me, man, Fat Boy Season, and we got a few guests. We're gonna start with Prince. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hey, what's good, everybody? My name is Prince Hendricks. I'm from PG County, and I am a Washington football team. Hopefully, Washington Red Wolves fan, but yeah, that's my squad, man.
Go ahead, Woods.
Hey, man. Woods known as Swish. I'm a Dallas Cowboys. They used to have Von rocking. Get it.
Go ahead. Introduce yourself to the world, Von.
The great Sean Taylor, man.
How I man. You see the backdrop, man. You know, my name Von, though, man. We're going to get into it today.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like I said, man, winners of the NFC East. I actually had preseason. I had Washington winning, but you know that didn't really come to fruition. But just get into it, man. You know, recently lost in the first round of the playoffs to the San Francisco 49ers. We all kind of know what happened there. Some clock management issues, and you know, also kind of like they did all season, the offense kind of stumbled early in the early goings. So got some questions to answer this offseason, man. We got some big free agents coming up for the Cowboys. They have little to no, well, actually, they're in the negatives when it comes to cap space, negative $21 million. So they got to find a way to try to break even there. So we'll probably see a lot of cap casualties and things of that nature. But just to rattle off a few names on your big free agents, you got Randy Gregory, Michael Gallup, Dalton Schultz, Keanu O'Neal, Leighton Vander Esch, Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown, Malik Hooker, Jayon Curse, and a couple of others. So I think from that list and just from you guys' knowledge, man, who you think should be some of the biggest free agents that you should actually try to bring back?
We got a lot of key pieces that you named right there. But like you say, Michael Gallup, we got a lot of people on defense that can really be substituted, man. Like the early incident we had with Jalen Smith. That's a prime example right there, man. Like, I mean, they're a key weapon, but I really didn't respect that move right there. Speaking on that, just, but you know, kind of messed up the chemistry of the team. I mean, it started with me with that guy right there, man, Jerry Jones. That's the guy right. He be having too much say so for me, man. He need to sit. You know what I'm saying, during the season, you got to sit.
Sit back and let people do their job.
Yeah,
But
man.
I disagree with that because I feel like in recent years, Jerry Jones was a hindrance to the Cowboys. But I feel like over the last couple of years, he actually put Dak Prescott in position to win. He gave this dude a good O-line. Talking about a healthy Cowboys. Gave him a good O-line. Gave him a good running back. Actually gave him a good second-string running back as well. Good receivers. Picked up Amari Cooper a few years back. Dez Bryant. Gallup. I mean, what else do he want?
That got everything a quarterback can ask for, man. It's people doing more with less.
Like
That's
people, I feel like Jerry Jones to me is a better coach than our damn coaches. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
I know. That's a very good point though. Like offensively, that's one of the most talented groups in the league. Like you said, you got basically two of everything for the most part. And three at the wide receiver standpoint. I think as far as those free agents that we listed offensively, I think Michael Gallup's probably gone. I don't think they're going to have enough to really pay him or want to pay him and bring him back, and they'll probably bring back like a Cedric Wilson because he plays the slot as well. And I think Michael Gallup will probably see some big bucks elsewhere, although he did get injured. But ACLs nowadays aren't really big injuries that really concern a lot of people. And then I guess also on the defensive side of the ball, Randy Gregory, who came back and had a really good year this year. And then your linebacker situation, Keanu O'Neal, Leighton Vander Esch. So that kind of leaves a void there if they're unable to re-sign those guys back. You do got Micah Parsons, who plays off ball and also plays some defensive end. But outside of him, and especially you let go of Jalen Smith, that's kind of a hole now that those guys need to fill. But speaking of the defense, man, how did y'all feel about how the defense played this year?
Defense defense performed highly, man.
Dogs.
A lot of big plays we missed up, you know what I'm saying? But defense kept us in a lot of close games, you know what I'm saying, that the offense really couldn't pull out. And a lot of that goes back to Dak Prescott, man. He had a lot of pressure on him. Playing for the Cowboys, like, you know what I'm saying, playing for the Lakers, right? You know what I'm saying? Maybe even more than that, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of pressure on Dak. It's kind of like, you know, boiling down to, is he the guy for us? You know, come from Mississippi State. He's a winner, I feel like, but I really can't explain it, man, to be honest, bro. Like,
y'all done paid the man now. He better be the guy.
Yeah.
This is why I think what it is with Dak Prescott. He is the best guy left. That's all it is. He's not that fucking guy. Can I curse?
Go ahead, man.
He's the best guy left.
I feel that though. That's kind of like the situation where you like, is he the guy? You're like, nah, but what's the alternative? Like, there's no clear upgrade that you can do, especially since you paid him. And then when before you guys paid him, there wasn't really another option out there that was feasible to actually go and upgrade. And then when you talk about Dak, you don't talk about him as like the elite of the elite. That's reserved for your Patrick Mahomes, your Tom Brady, obviously, your Aaron Rodgers, and like players like a Josh Allen are kind of ascending to that level. But
He like towards the top of the second tier. He like you know what I'm saying? He like
he's there.
Like he above average, but not elite. But I will say, I mean, it's too late because they already paid him. But what I will say is, I felt like, I mean, I was hard on that, obviously being a Skins, you know, but like being objective, like I felt like the best thing that probably that would have happened for them is if there was more options. I think both sides probably needed a change of scenery a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it sounds crazy, but I feel like you giving Dak everything that you could possibly give him in Dallas, it's not working out. But I feel like for some type of reason in another organization, he probably would have been straight. And maybe going back to what Vaughn said, the pressure of playing in Dallas might be too much on him, and like going to a lower media market or something would have probably been better. But some kind of way, I just feel like that going to another team, you know, I just feel like it's just unfortunately the NFC East way. Like people leave us and going to be superstars, going to be elite, and like every team, like it's just how it is. I think our conference in general, we do not the best job of developing players. In some kind of way, I feel like in a lower market to whatever team needed him. Because I think, obviously, when we get into us, you know, we needed a quarterback. We were in discussions for if he hit the market, we're going to try to sign him. I just think the pressure of playing in Dallas might be too much for him because, again, it's like, when you got that talent cast around you, all the excuses disappear. It's on you. It's can you play or can you not? And, like, not being biased, he got, like, top 10. And that's just being like, you know what I'm saying? That's being modest. Really, like, again, my heart don't want to let me say it, but he got like top 5 talent at his skill position players like Zeke, Mari, what you call coming up?
Pollard.
Pollard. What's the receiver though? What's the receiver that everybody like again? I forgot his
name.
CD, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who they tight end is, but it's like your excuse dwindle because, like I said, going back to the initial conversation, what I said is quarterbacks doing more with less. So you know what I'm saying? It's quarterbacks right now that you could pick any elite quarterback name or whoever supposed to be elite. You put them on that roster and and you know what I'm saying. The lead on notice, like you would pencil them in to go far. With that, we ain't too worried about that. He prone to his.
I'm about to say, in my opinion, you know, I knew Dak wasn't going to be that guy when I seen him. Paul's got put on. You know, he was down in PCB. I knew from jump he was that guy. He don't got the heart. Let's just keep it to being.
He ain't got the heart for it.
You could see a lot. Right. He had it in him.
Man. Hey, no, that's a very good point, bro. Nah, that's a lot of good points, man. I think, I don't know, man. Like you said, he has everything that he needs. So, like, I think part of that might be a little bit of coaching, like as far as the advancing a little farther. You know, the whole thing on Mike McCarthy has been, I guess before you guys hired him was like he let the times kind of pass him up, and then since he's been back, it's been like all these clock management issues, and you know that's been either either been like making things harder than it has to be, or actually losing games, like we just kind of saw this past Sunday. So it's hard to fire a coach after they win 12 games, but at the same time, it's kind of like, in order to reach elite, you might need to do that. I guess a good example of that is Mark Jackson getting fired with Golden State. Steve Kerr comes in the first year, they win the chip, and then they go on and win like 2 or 3 more. So sometimes that upgrade or having the right leader of men, as opposed to, because I guess nowadays you either got like the coaches that are like leader of men, or they're like a genius on the offense or the defensive side of the ball. And I don't really think Mike McCarthy fits either bill. So I think Dallas need like a really good leader of men, and then maybe you can keep like a Kellen Moore at offensive coordinator, but then you can try to have that leader man elevate Dak to like being a great leader, to being a top 5 quarterback, and then being able to get them guys a little further.
See, I feel like he's a leader though, because a lot of the players have respect for him. I just don't think he's a winner.
I feel like I ain't trying to, again, like I feel like our teams mirror a little bit. I just think the NFC East as a whole kind of mirror a little bit. So I ain't trying to get into our segment, but I feel like Dallas probably got a similar problem to us in terms of coach, quarterback, and coach, quarterback, and owner. Like I feel like it don't matter who you put in there. Like it don't matter who you put in there. Like the situation, the pressure, the front office, and all that. I think it's gonna be very hard to win under them circumstances. You asking for somebody to be you know what I'm saying? You asking for somebody to perform a miracle, especially with the pressure of knowing that these organizations have not won playoff games since everybody on these calls have been born for real. So like, but then you said like, you know what I'm saying? You said a person that you said that McCarthy don't fit the bill of offensive genius, defensive genius, or leader, man. I kind of agree. I feel like he may got sprinkles of like, you know what I'm saying? He got sprinkles of being average across the board. What they might need to do, because I don't think he's gonna be here too much longer. If they want to switch it up and they want somebody who fit that bill, they might need to elevate Moore, because I don't think Moore gonna be there too much longer as an offensive coordinator. I think people about to come knocking on the door, and I feel like the thing that they did with what was the coach before McCarthy, Garrett, like how they try to keep him in the house and groom him, whatever, that might be like will probably put people on notice a little bit more is Kellen Moore getting that hit. Because I personally, as a football team, schemes, whatever we about to be fan, like when they hired Mike McCarthy, I wasn't too worried about that, because like I said, I be studying the game a little bit. I seen like how he had all the talent in the world and he used to just come up short. Just like now, he got all the talent in the world and he just come up short. Like so, like Swiss said, he's not really a winner to me. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll win the regular season and all that is good, but when it comes to the playoffs, like I think across the nation, we just expect them to do whatever their first playoff game is, whether it's the, you know what I'm saying, they got a first round bye or they play like in a wild card weekend. We all just expect that the first weekend they gonna be gone. We know, like they do all that good work, and then everybody like, oh, we play Dallas the first round of the playoffs, bet easy win.
I don't think
they're gonna beat themselves. They're gonna beat themselves. It ain't even about the other teams being that much better than them. They just not disciplined. They beat themselves all the time.
But I think Kellen Moore, I feel like I heard people like ESPN and other analysts call him like, offensive genius or, a great offensive coordinator or whatever. I don't think he's that talented. I think he's just a white man who has an okay football knowledge. I'm just being honest with you. I don't think
we get into that.
And the reason why I don't think he's that talented is because of the fact that the Cowboys only perform like amazing on offense against trash teams or mediocre teams. That just keep it real. Anytime the Cowboys had a chance to really show their skill against good teams, they always folded. Let's just go back to week 1 against the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Come on,
but they still like 30. They put up like 35 or something like that. They were there. They ain't finished, but they were there.
I'm talking about but as an offensive coordinator, you gotta know how to win in those situations. Because that was a shootout. There was a time. There was the time the offensive skill right there. That was literally a shootout. They were scoring pretty much at will until it was time to make it happen.
That's true, but they had the lead right with like a minute left.
That's
Brady. At that point, it's just kind of like Brady.
You can't ready. And then like put up the white man and all that other stuff. Like, have y'all had a black coach?
Shit.
Nah, I don't think so, man.
I about to say I'm not trying to be funny, but that's like a point. Like you talking about, like he like, you know what I'm saying, you don't think he that talented, he just a white man. That might be the white man for y'all. I don't think y'all had a black coach. So who y'all go get that's out there? Like y'all might as well promote in-house.
I know there's been a lot of conversation, or more like rumblings from the media about Dan Quinn getting elevated. And I think to go back on the point of Kellen Moore as offense coordinator, I think he's good. I think he shows the flashes, but kind of like y'all pointed out, the flashes are more so against bad teams. Like they go play,
Yeah.
they go play Philly earlier in the season and the Giants, and then they go put up like 40 and they're doing all this creative stuff. But then like, I guess a game like Kansas City, a game like 49ers, they didn't really live up to the hype like that.
Yeah, like, Dan Quinn, like he improved our defense dramatically, but go back to the Super Bowl against New England. Man, he had a 25-point lead and blew it. So, I mean, them type of guys that we had in our system, you know what I'm saying? So, it all boils down to Jerry Jones to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Picking the right guys and staying out the press for one, man. You know what I'm saying? You writing, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going out there and putting on cleats and pads and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You take a fall back.
And that's Jerry, though.
He loved that, yeah.
Yeah,
Jerry.
like, yeah, you can't ask Jerry not to be Jerry. He's just one of those owners that the league love or hate him, or love to hate him.
Yeah, Jerry kind of like, he kind of taking over as kind of like the new Al Davis. Not as bad, but like he kind of like an Al Davis type.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Jerry's for sure always in the media, in the spotlight. Although, like, I think after this game, he canceled all his little interviews. I think he does like a weekly show in Dallas where he talks about the previous week and all that crap. But so I guess moving on. So I guess, what do you guys think are some of the biggest team needs as far as roster construction?
Man, strangely for the Cowboys, man, it's like we need some heart. Because we already said that, bro, like that pretty much has everything on the offensive end. And also, and much flack as I give Dak, he is an okay quarterback. It's just certain mental things that the offense does in tight situations. It's like a Cowboys curse. Like I can't tell you what we need on paper. You know what I'm saying? Because some stuff, for real, like in defense, bro. If I'm wrong, let me know. This is the best year I've seen the Cowboys defense as far as the amount of heart that they showed. Like they play like dogs this year. That's all.
Y'all got two young stars in Diggs and Parsons. So
y'all had that one year the defense was like really good. It was been like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. I just remember y'all played like the Saints that year, and y'all beat them like 13-10 or something on a Thursday night game. Just some random. I don't know. That was a couple years ago though. Jalen Smith was there. I remember that.
18,
yeah.
I think we need a cornerback bad, man. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Brown been there with us for about 6 years. He got some heart, man, but the talent got to be there also. I mean, you giving up tremendous amount of penalties a game. They just playing with you, toying with you and stuff, man. That's what we gotta go after, man. Patrick Surtain, he definitely hurt us with that one. But we come back with Micah. That was a great steal. I wouldn't say steal, but that was a great pickup. And but this year we gotta go after something, man. We gotta go after something back.
Yeah, I remember the first game of the season. I think because Anthony Brown was playing maybe a lot of slot at the time, or even some outside too, and he was going against Antonio Brown. Now I get it as Antonio Brown, but he was getting dead. I think another position, although the offensive line is still one of the strengths, I think you guys still got like a little room for upgrade. I think at maybe the guard position, because what's buddy name? Is it Connor Williams or one? And I think the other guard or his backup. One of them was getting killed against San Francisco with like holding penalties and just the interior rush was getting kind of toe up, and they also the offensive line is getting kind of up there in age, so it's been more like a lot of nagging injuries, especially with like Tyron Smith, and I think this year, what's the guard's name? That's about to go to the Hall of Fame whenever he retired. Zach Martin?
Yeah.
That Martin, yeah.
He been a little banged up this year too, so I think getting a younger, talented guy in there, not for him, but like for like Connor Williams, and maybe a tackle for the future is something else that you guys could kind of look into. And then tight end will probably be a hole because Dalton Schultz hits the market, and he had a really good year, so he's probably going to get paid.
Like,
So, that's probably another area you guys can address. I think. So I think. I'll go ahead.
I think we need coaching. I think that's what we really need to focus on the most. But just because of those things, like Vaughn said, just certain, like, yeah, you got heart, but certain mental things, like Trayvon Diggs, he'll pick Meister. He can make big plays, but 9 times out of 10, he gonna make mistakes.
Double move be eating his that double move be killing, bro.
Every time. He gave up what? He gave up over 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah, bro. Hey, listen, he from Maryland. I don't want to make him look bad, but he played for the Cowboys. That double move be listen.
It gets him every time because he's so aggressive. So like that aggression is good and bad. Like he's able to make the play and get the pick because he got great ball skills, but he always bite and like they're gonna double move him to death until he showed that he's disciplined. But bringing coaching into it, that's really good. Cause I think y'all had like the most penalties this year too. So
yeah,
like coaching and discipline.
I think he better in coverage, but as far as like ball hooking skills, I think Trayvon remind me a little bit of young D-Ho in terms of like D-Ho and coverage and stuff. Like he'll get beat a little bit, but some kind of way he always around the ball. He always coming out with interceptions. So I think he remind me of D-Ho a little bit. But D-Ho I think was better. I think D-Ho was better at this stage in his career at coverage, but in terms of like athletic ability and just coming out with interceptions, I think that's a comparison I would give him for like where he is in his career. And if he don't get better at that double move, they might want to think about moving his ass to safety.
Yeah, I think he'll improve next year, man. You know, this year really was a lesson for him. Last year he made a few big plays. He gave up some big plays, but he who was it? DK Metcalf gave up a touchdown essentially, came back, made him fumble. I'm saying so. This year showed his capability, huh?
This year 3 coming up for him?
No, this year 4.
Yeah, 4. Okay.
No, it's year 3, right?
I think it's year 3.
Okay, 3. Yeah.
3.
Yeah. This year showed his monster capability. Next year, I think that'll be the real him. I think that'll be the real him right there, man.
I mean, he a dig, so we know the athletic. He a dig, so we know the athleticism there. He just got to learn how to cover.
Yeah. And it's like with the coaching, the discipline. I think I don't know, was it Ryan Clark had spoke on this? He had said, look at the Titans team. They didn't have no mishaps on the whole team, and that's discipline. You know what I'm saying? As far as you got Cowboys, we got fake vaccination cards. You know, dealing with stuff like that. Off the field. Off the field, yeah. So it's just like all that comes to play, man. You know, this get paid for this your job, this your life. You know, you got to take it serious, man.
Yeah, I think a good Prince touched on this earlier about like just organization, like from top to bottom, owner all the way down. That's why you see those teams that are like constantly like in contention every year, like Baltimore, Pittsburgh never had a losing season. Like from the top down, everything seems to be like run the right way. They draft well. When they get free agents, they usually work out. The coach is stable. The coach has been there 10 plus years. You don't hear like that outside noise, like fake vaccine cards, minimal like outbreaks and stuff like that. And
you've been up there in like New England with Belichick, even when they don't got the talent, you expect them to compete every year.
Discipline,
100%.
I don't know who said this, but somebody said Diggs might be good at safety. I kind of would like that. I feel like we need to pick up another cornerback and maybe put Diggs at safety. That might be a hot take, but because we do need a safety.
I said he would be good at safety. The only reason why I said that, I mean, I don't think I should give up on him at corner because corner is a more of a high value position. But the reason why I said that is because of my D Hall comp. Like later on in his career, we ended up moving D Hall to free safety because as he got older, he started getting broken off in coverage. I know everybody's seen the play against D Hall.
That shit to me, man. Don't touch me, boy. What's wrong with you, boy? I'm a grown ass man, dog. Just like you. Well, we can box. I feel God, homie. I feel God. I feel God, boy. I feel God, boy. I feel God, boy. Oh, somebody hurt. Damn, I'm already breaking ankles. And first their pads already breaking ankles.
That's what we knew it was time, but it was like we knew that, you know what I'm saying, regardless of his coverage skills, if you allow him, because I mean, as far as my defensive position, I'm a free safety by trade. So the free safety, the beautiful thing about the free safety position is it just allow you to just roam. And you can see the whole, you know what I'm saying, you can see the whole field in front of you. So sometimes like you'll see like a good corner, you'll see like a corner, average corner or whatever, make that position switch to free safety and be better at safety because they used to playing up so close. You can only see a little bit of the field. You can see like one half of the field, but when you move them back to free safety, they can see the whole field and they can thrive versus the other way around. If you move a safety to corner, they in trouble. So that's why I say that, but I think it's too early in his career to move Diggs. But I'm saying like after like year 4, 5, whatever is, you know what I'm saying, towards the end of his rookie deal, because obviously I would think I would want to re-sign him. If he's still getting beat by that double move, then it might be time to move him to free safety. Y'all do that, and you can have like, you know what I'm saying, you'll have like you'll have a problem on your hands. But I still think y'all definitely need to go out the corner though, for sure.
He's small, man. Don't do that, man. These my size, man.
I mean, but you gotta think, like, I mean, the era has changed a little bit, but with that change, I mean, it might be going back more now, but going back to like when you had the Legion of Boom and stuff, the corners was the corner, except for that team, because you had Cam, who was huge, like probably up there with like Sean Taylor size, but the corners was starting to be a little bit bigger, and the safeties was like, whatever, like we just need you to be an athlete. We just need to know, can you run sideline and cover ground? It don't matter what size you're, especially at free. Like, you know what I'm saying? We not really, if you in a good scheme, we're not asking you to come down in the box and, you know what I'm saying, just be hit sticking niggas. Like, we asking you to, your one job is just make sure, going back to little league football, don't let nothing get behind you. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of what your size is, don't let nothing get, like Tyron not that big.
He a big corner.
Huh?
He rangy.
Yeah, he like he not little at all.
I think more so like I think he's talking more so he's thin.
Yeah, thin.
Oh yeah.
He's a thinner corner.
Yeah.
But that's because he's kind of rangy. Like you said, I think he's fairly tall for a corner.
Yeah. But I think that's premature though. Like I say, he only going into year 3. And unfortunately, I hate that he played for the Cowboys, but you know what I'm saying, he's still from my home, so I ain't gonna give up, bro. You know what I'm saying, like him and Stephon make the city proud. But yeah, he just that double move, man. Like going like all that other stuff aside, all that him being from where I'm from, like aside, like if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm definitely, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't be afraid to throw at him. I wouldn't be afraid, like put my best receiver over there, make them like scheme or whatever, because you know he's susceptible to it. Like you say, it just is aggression. But I think that go back to what Vaughn and Swiss said, like coaching, like your what is your DB coach doing that he know that you aggressive and he still put you out there every Sunday to get beat by the double? There's no way that you should still be making the same mistakes from your rookie year right now. And it's like, really, it's not that he got that much mischievous. It's not that he got that much flaws in his game. It really just be the double move. And really, I mean, maybe he need to probably watch film or get up with a veteran corner this offseason and, you know what I'm saying, like watch film. Because I think that double move is just like, it's film. It's the lack of film study. You should just know that you about to get broke off with that double move every time. But he just keep biting on it and looking crazy like he on road bounce on skates.
I don't know what it is. I maybe in the NFL, in real time, you can watch as much film as you want. If they got it, they got it. I don't know.
Instincts. his instincts and
but that's the
jumping.
thing. We just talked about it. He got the instincts. He got the instincts. He got the talent. Like I think it's probably a lack of film study because we can't. I don't think none of the four of us on here can sit here and say that he not athletic. And he don't got the talent.
Oh, talent there for sure.
He got all the talent in the world.
He definitely.
And he went to Bama. He wouldn't have went to Bama. He wouldn't have went to Bama if he ain't had no talent. So.
But that's going back. That's going back to Von's point, man. This just overall discipline of the team is kind of is lacking, and that's kind of, I guess, a case in point. Like, and that's kind of a metaphor for the whole team. Super talented, but kind of consistently making plays, but then also making those bad plays that, you know, maybe if it's a little more focus or a little more film study or a little more discipline in the whole building, that they can kind of get away from.
I probably consider him more of like a ball hawk or a playmaker than a corner right now. Like that's what he do. Like he make plays, but if the game on the line, I don't know that I want. You know, so I don't think he the corner that I want mirroring the other team best receiver right now. Like I don't know. But if he could develop that lockdown aspect, then yeah, he could be a problem. He could definitely be a problem. Right now, he going off for athletic, which is common for young players. Like you use your athletic tools that you have to get by until, you know what I'm saying, the game start to slow down for you. So that's what he's doing. He's using his ball hawking ability. I mean, and again, as a fan of a team in the same division, when he start to put it all together, he could be a scary player. Because for him to get beat as much as he get beat and be susceptible to the double move, for him to come up with the amount of picks that he came up with this year, that's crazy. That's crazy. So it
might have hindered a lot of other things too. Cause I think the coaching, the fans, everybody got fed so deep into him picks that they forgot that he was getting beat by the double move. You know what I'm saying? They let him go out there, just go back to the system. They go back there. They just say, go out there and do your thing instead of, you know, getting into a better scheme. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's a good point, because a lot of, you know, the media coverage too. It's like, oh man, he got 6 in 6 games, 7 in 6 games, and like I said, within that, he still was getting toasted a little bit in between it. But you don't hear about it. You hear, he's on pace for 20 picks.
Right. You compare him to Deion, not comparing him to Deion, but you compare the situation to Deion. Deion, he's like a player and a coach. You know what I'm saying? You can go out there and you can let Deion be Deion. Trayvon get 10 picks and you try to let Trayvon be Trayvon, but you forget that he's only in year 3, you know what I'm saying? Year 2, whatever. And you forget, like, the end of the season, you get AJ Green. He kill him on the double move. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta let the coach be the coach, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, like you said, go back to that defensive system. We played a lot of man this year. Got killed on both sides. Man, it's just like, it's a roller coaster of events for this team. A lot of exciting plays. Didn't really win the big games that we supposed to. I feel like we're supposed to have won. You know, nothing is given to us. But I mean, we got the most talent in the world, man. There's no way we shouldn't be in this division round right now. There's no way. It's unexplainable.
It's culture, man. No disrespect to the Browns, but you know how for years no disrespect.
That's facts.
Like the Browns had like a losing culture. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Cowboys, we have a inconsistent culture or undisciplined culture. Like we always be a talented team.
It's consistent.
Consistently losing.
Yeah, this will be like in big moments, like losing. It's hard, bro.
Culture's everything, man. And like you said, it follows you. It follows you for a while. Like you got to get your culture together. Like I said, from the top all the way down to the bottom, you got to have the right people in place to kind of enforce that and keep it consistent and sustain it for a significant period of time, man. But I think Von said that earlier too. Like you kind of expect them to kind of mess it up at some point. You'd be like, well, let's not get our hopes up too bad or too much.
I feel like with culture too, though, culture in the NFL is like it's a hard thing to. I feel like it's hard to change culture in the NFL. Like I don't mean to go off a little bit, but for instance, on top of me being a Skins fan, I'm a Canes fan. So I brought this up because I feel like coaching in the NFL and coaching in college is a little bit different. Like coaching in college, right? Let's say again, as a Hurricane fan, we going through this right now. We had Manny, and now we got Mario. So it's a little bit easier to change that culture because you just get guys that fit your system, and they graduate at school. So like after 4 years, them guys gone, you bring in your own guys, and after a couple of recruiting classes of your own guys, now you have a culture that fit the identity. But in the NFL, it's just like you're dealing with contracts, you're dealing with professionals, you're dealing with a guy who might be a hell of a player. He might be, in your case, a Dallas Cowboy. He might be that, but he, you know what I'm saying, he came in under a losing system. So now you changing the coaches, you changing everything, but you still have these people who are a part of this losing culture who are staples and, you know what I'm saying, staples in that franchise that is just like, because we deal with that all the time. We got people who like they came through, you know what I'm saying, they came through our organization. They great players or whatever, but they were drafted in losing times, and you don't know what those losers are telling new people who coming in, and what they teaching them, who teaching the new kids that's coming in, who might have came under a coach that is winning. But if you got, because at the end of the day, you deal with the vibes and stuff too. That's where like the vibes come in, where you might have a winning coach, but you bring him into a losing locker room where the vets are not used to winning. Now they starting to butt heads. They want to do stuff their way. So that's why I feel like coaching in the NFL was probably one of the hardest things to change, because you dealing with a delicate balance of like having the right amount of skill, having the right amount of will, and having, you know what I'm saying, all that. Because like I said, you could be the most talented player in the world, but you never know. Like maybe, you know what I'm saying, y'all might got people over there who they've been in so long, they so good, they've been going to Pro Bowls and stuff. Maybe they ain't got to practice but X amount of days a week. Versus, you know what I'm saying, like just like a lax culture. You know what I'm saying? You know how like once you become vets and stuff, you get the vet days off, you get certain things like that a new coach might not going for that. Like, you gotta prove yourself. Like you might have been, you know what I'm saying, like you might have been that under that, but y'all ain't been winning shit. So now I'm coming in and we trying to do this. I feel like just the NFL culture, it's a lot harder to change because a lot of times your staples and your key guys, they don't go nowhere. They stay there, they retire. Especially if you an organization where you losing, but you giving out money, yeah, they staying, they retiring, they doing everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it just be hard. It just be hard to change. And I feel like we got a lot of that going on in our division as a whole. That's why I feel like we went from being one of, like, people laugh now, but we used to be legit like the best division hands down in all of football. Now we like the laughing stock, the worst. And I just look across the board and you got all these people who are talented, but they just ain't. They been in losing coaches, and you keep them around because contracts you got. So you can't get rid of a whole 53 and bring in a whole. It's not college. It's not recruiting. Like you gotta, you know what I'm saying. It's just tough. It's just really tough. And I think across the board, all four organizations in our division dealing with that. We just all got losing coaches. We've been an NFC least for like, it hurt me to say, but we've been an NFC least for a long time now.
I mean, definitely three other teams in the division, of course, but the Cowboys, we 12-5 this year, so I'm just playing.
Yeah, but I'm talking about overall this year, like it go back and forth. Like we won the division last year with 7 games or whatever. Like it just go back. That's the other thing too. Like there's no established dominance in our conference. Any given year, a team could win it. And you would look at your roster and think that, oh, like the Cowboys probably gonna run. They gonna run through the division this year. Or you looked at our defense like, oh, we got the defense to stop anybody this year. But it really just be a toss up. It really honestly, if y'all ain't run away with it like y'all did this year, like people probably wouldn't have been surprised if the Giants won. And the Giants are trash. The Giants are trash as hell. But in our division, they come down to week they extended 17 games, week 17. Like unless a team run away with the division early, like it really just come down to that last week. And I think the NFL be knowing that, because I feel like they was being petty. Our last 5 games were straight division games. They probably like, no, this division is so trash that we're going to make it entertaining. We're going to make them play straight division games, because if you went out, you could go to play. You could have a terrible season before that stretch, but you went out, you going to the playoffs. That's what happened with the Eagles. Like the Eagles was looking bad. And then like their last couple of games was division games, and they went on to the division. I mean, they went on to the wild card round and got smacked, but they went.
Very fast.
Man, we really are like, this really was a good team this year.
I'm disappointed.
This was really a good team this year. This was like, to me, one of those years where I feel like we could have had a deep playoff push. Like, I just don't understand, man. This shit is crazy to me. Like, why? Like why?
You already said culture.
Yeah, it's more rhetorical. I just want to talk to Jerry, man. Just pick his brain.
You ain't getting nowhere near Jerry. I can tell you that right now.
Oh yeah. Let me say this. What really hurt the Cowboys as well is Jerry Jones' loyalty to the Cowboys in the sense of the players or the coaches. Once he developed relationships with people, he don't like to let them go.
Jason Garrett was there forever. Way too long.
He a loyal dude, man. That's why most Cowboys love Jerry. Once you're a Cowboy for life.
You
It's
see,
like a
Mike
boys
Irvin.
for sure.
Mike Irvin, but he swore by Jerry. He swore by Jerry. Now that's a good point, though. Quickly, I guess it's probably like the last portion of it. I was looking at some draft targets for you guys. Looking around, like Mel Kiper and those guys, like what they think you guys should do. Some of their draft targets was a defensive end from Georgia, Travon Walker. They had one of the best defenses in the NCAA last year, so I'm assuming he's been a baller. Also, Jordan Davis. I think that's somebody. I think if he somehow fell to I think you guys got the 24th pick. If he somehow failed to 24, he's one of those guys that kind of stabilize your defense. That's the big defensive tackle from Georgia as well. So yeah, I think if you guys for some reason aren't able to re-sign Randy Gregory, because I'm assuming he's gonna command some money this offseason, you probably definitely need to shore up that defensive line. And then I guess you also got the Swiss Army knife and Micah, who can play off ball or on ball. And it kind of depends. I don't know if they're going to continue to put him off ball because you got some free agents at linebacker as well. But that's kind of a decision that's going to need to be made. I guess probably based on what positions y'all address this offseason, whether it's defensive line or linebacker one more than the other, I guess. Do you think, I guess it's probably a question for y'all, do you think Micah should play more off ball or more defensive end?
Man, let him go get the quarterback, man. Let him go get the quarterback. It's kind of contradicting that you would put him in coverage, but knowing you need a cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Let him go get the quarterback, man. With that last year, this year, you got with him dropping in coverage, they get a quarterback another 2 seconds or so. That's a recipe for disaster for your corner. So Micah could have been in a better position to get the quarterback.
What's crazy about Micah is I agree with Vaughn in terms of for Dallas. I think y'all should definitely let him go get the quarterback. But what's crazy was if you go back and look at pre-draft and all that stuff, Micah Parsons wasn't really known as a sack artist. He wasn't really known as a down lineman or go rush the passer. He was known as, I ain't saying he was known to be just left on the island in coverage, but he was known as a overall athlete. He could do everything. He was pretty good at everything. They had at one point was calling him probably the best linebacker to come out in a long time. But the one part of his game that kind of surprised people once he got to the league was that, I ain't gonna say surprised people, but the pass rush ability to the level that he was at right now, he wasn't known for that at Penn State, probably because that's not what they asked him to do, but that's not what he was known for. So it was a pleasant surprise. But I would definitely say that now that he's shown that, I definitely wouldn't, I wouldn't waste his ability to keep putting him out in coverage. He could do it, but I don't think he need to be doing it all the time. I would definitely send him to go get the quarterback for sure. But I just wanted to bring that up there. Going back, looking at some stuff, because we needed a linebacker last year and we ended up taking Jamin Davis. But so I was very familiar with Parsons, but he wasn't known coming out the draft for being this sack artist that he is right now. He was more of a well-polished, well-rounded player. And the only reason why he was even able to fall to Dallas was because of off-the-field issues, pre-evaluations and everything like that. Michael Parsons was expected to go top 5. He's a top 5 talent, but off-the-field issues kind of got in the way. But yeah, I did a lot of studying his game and stuff like that, because had he been there when we picked, we'd have definitely got Michael Parsons, which is why I think we reached a little bit on Jamin Davis. But yeah, he wasn't known to be the sack artist. That just goes to tell you how elite of an athlete he is. Honestly, again, some of the stuff I'm saying, my love for the game of football and my football knowledge, it has to shine through my hate for the Cowboys. I can't go ahead and sound crazy, but some of the stuff that he's doing is just showing like the potential of the player that y'all got going down the line. The fact that, like I said, he wasn't known for sacks, but he went out and got, I don't know how many sacks he got, but he got enough to show that like he can go get the quarterback. So that just goes to show that like y'all have a cornerstone player right there. Him and Diggs is like they should be the cornerstone of y'all defense. But we gonna see, because y'all done had a lot of talent come in and out of Dallas and haven't done nothing with it. So
yeah. Last thing. I'm about to say last thing. What are your expectations or projections for the Cowboys in the 2022 season?
Go ahead, Swish.
Be honest with you, I stopped having expectations for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm being so honest because I don't know. This is not like a team that might be one position away. You know, this is a team who has pretty much everything we need as far as positions. I don't know. Have no expectation. I expect us to win the division. But me personally, that's not really saying much given the fact that our division is trash. But as far as the playoffs, I expect us to get out the first round this year as well. That's just our coaching. Yeah.
go ahead, Vaughn.
Oh man. Man, it's kind of hard to say, man. You know, dealing with Cowboy culture, there's no telling what's gonna happen in the offseason. Go back to when we let Dez Bryant go. I mean, it's just all over the place with the Cowboys, man. So I just wait on next September to see before I throw any opinions out there, expectations, man. I just let it play out, see what kind of moves they'll make. They in the position that they are for a reason. So I let Jerry be Jerry.
Zeke, I'm gonna throw you with this one. My expectation for them, that ain't my team, but my expectation for them is we find a quarterback, they in trouble. That's all I gotta say. We find a quarterback, they in trouble. It's over. Over with. They got everything you can ask for. Struggling, fumbling. It's over. We find a quarterback, it's a wrap.
Like for next season, do you think y'all are gonna be able to beat us? Like, honestly.
Absolutely, but go ahead, let Zeke do his job. I'm about to, I'm saying, I'm about to.
I think
I couldn't be unbiased. I couldn't be biased when it came to y'all, but I'm out there and I'm about to go ahead and go into my bag real quick, show these people my football IQ.
I think personally, it's kind of your expectations is, I guess, I think they should win the division. They should make the playoffs, but kind of like, I guess the theme of the room is you just really don't know. You don't know with the Cowboys.
Man.
You don't. So this concluded part one, where we're doing the Cowboys. So I'm going to sign off. This is your boy Zeke. You can catch me on Instagram at Fatboy Season. You can catch me on TikTok at Fatboy Season 1. Quit taking down my videos. You can catch me on Twitter, Fatboy Season Inc. INC. You guys let them know where they can find you at.
Yeah, it's your boy Swish, man. You can catch me on Instagram at Derek Swish.
I go. This Prince, you can find me on Instagram at Thuggish Ruggish Bones.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Vaughn. Find me on Instagram at @_Vaughn.g.
Bet that, man. It's been the episode 1, 2, 3 CABO for the Dallas Cowboys, man. We out.